Before we get into today's video, if you enjoy honest movie reviews, deep dives into cult favourites, and the occasional rant when a franchise goes off the rails, consider hitting like and subscribing. It really helps the channel grow, and it lets me know that you want more content like this. So, Scream 7. I saw Scream 7 last Thursday on opening night, and after sitting with it, thinking about it, and letting it sink in, I'm honestly struggling with this one. That's not something I ever thought I would say about this franchise. So before we get into it properly, here's a quick glimpse from the trailer.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. Did you miss me? Nice little town you found. You and your pretty daughter. Reminds me of where we grew up.
Well, you sure know a lot about me for another asshole hiding behind a voice changer.
Oh, I'm not hiding, Sydney. Not this time.
Down to the end.
I am a huge fan of the Scream franchise. You can read all of my reviews from Scream 1 through 6 on my website. I'll leave links in the description below. But the short version is this: I love this series. The original is, of course, my favourite, but I particularly loved Scream 2022 and Scream 6. I was fully invested in the new leads, the core four: Sam, Tara, Chad, and Mindy. Spoiler warning if you've not seen the previous movies, but one of the most interesting ideas the franchise introduced was Sam being the daughter of Billy Loomis, the original film's killer. That darker edge, that internal conflict, it felt like it was building towards something genuinely bold in Scream 7, something messy, something dangerous. So after Scream 6, and thinking about the possibilities of where the story could go next, I was super excited. Then, of course, everything changed. Melissa Barrera was fired after making social media posts commenting on the Israel-Palestine conflict. I'm not here to get into my opinions on that. This is a movie review, not a political discussion. But creatively, it completely derailed the franchise's momentum. Shortly after, Jenna Ortega exited the project as well. At that point, I'll be honest, my excitement dipped hard. But then it was announced that Neve Campbell would be returning as Sidney Prescott, and that Kevin Williamson, the original writer of Scream, would be stepping into the director's chair. On paper, that should have been a dream pairing. Instead, what we got was an uninteresting, nostalgia-baiting slasher that brings nothing new to the series. It wasn't tense, I wasn't invested, and that's such a strange feeling to have during a Scream movie. Normally these films thrive on anticipation, the slow build-up, the creeping dread, that moment where you're almost waiting to hear Ghostface deliver the line.
What's your favorite scary movie?
So, I'll throw that question out to you instead. What is your favourite scary movie? Let me know in the comments below, because I am genuinely curious to hear where people land on this one. The kills in this movie, unfortunately, are boring. They're rushed, uninspired, and over before they've had time to really sink in. Scream has always balanced brutality with tension. Here, the film just barrels forward, never letting moments breathe. The violence is not shocking, it's not suspenseful, it's just there. And for a slasher franchise built on suspense and timing, that's a massive problem. I can't believe I'm saying this, considering the creative team involved. How did they get Sidney Prescott so wrong? She barely does anything in this movie up until the final 10 minutes. Her message to Sam in Scream 2022 was that you can't run from this. You have to face it head on. But here, she feels like she's gone backwards as a character. She feels like she's in hiding, that she's just trying to survive. You'd think someone with her history would have trained, prepared, or at least equipped her family, especially her daughter, played by Isabel May, but none of that is explored. As for returning characters, Gail, Chad, and Mindy, I genuinely don't know why they're in this movie. They contribute nothing meaningful to the story. Chad and Mindy were half of the core four in the last two films, but without Sam and Tara, their presence just reminds you how much better those movies were. Mindy's horror rules scene returns again in Scream 7, but this time it's just a hollow repeat. No evolution, no insight, just ticking a box. And my biggest gripe, they bring back Matthew Lillard's Stu Macher. In some capacity, no spoilers here, but the way they do it is unbelievably dumb. It wastes a fan-favourite character and squanders what could have been a genuinely shocking, franchise-altering moment. I do have ideas on how Stu could have been brought back in a way that actually meant something, but maybe that's a discussion for a future movie discussions video. But the bottom line is this: Matthew Lillard deserved better. And then there's the killer's reveal. Easily the worst of the entire franchise. When the first killer is unmasked, I genuinely couldn't remember who the character even was. That's how little impact they had in the movie. It was so anticlimactic, I just sat there shaking my head. What hurts the most is that Scream was one of the few horror franchises that actually felt like it still had something to say. It evolved with the times, it adapted, it found a way to stay relevant without forgetting what it was. And watching Scream 7, it just felt like all of that growth just stopped. Now, don't get me wrong, Sidney Prescott will always hold a special place in my heart. She is the Scream Queen, obviously. But Scream 3 already closed her arc. Scream 4 and 5 found a way to bring her back that made sense. Here, she just has nothing left to add. Up until now, Scream 3 was my least favourite of the franchise. Scream 7 now takes that spot. I'm giving Scream 7 a 1.5 out of 5. I'm extremely disappointed, and honestly, I don't know, I can't see where this franchise goes from here. If you've enjoyed this review, give it a like, subscribe for more honest movie discussions, and let me know your comments below. What did you think of Scream 7? Did you enjoy it? Or like me, would you advise people to avoid it? Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you at the next one.